What's happening, battlers? Trainer Rem here. I just want to start out this video by saying huge thanks to JimmaBanks for inviting us Michigan battlers all the way out to Pennsylvania for the double Mirror Cup tournaments with KiengIV. So many amazing battlers, so many crazy battles. All of it was just absolutely amazing. I had such a great time and I learned a lot. I learned a lot about, different communities, different battlers, what it's like just being in a huge tournament just like that. So it was amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having us. And let's go ahead and get started with talking about the Mirror Cup Twilight tournament. Starting off with the Mirror Cup Twilight tournament, I went unranked and there were 7 rounds and 72 participants, including high-ranked battlers such as HouseStark93, Valorash, Toshi9227, Hydro033, and KiengIV. So I don't remember much about my Twilight Cup tournaments, but here you could rarely ever use the same lineup of 3 for every single round. You definitely needed to decide what you're going to lead with every round if you went match 1, match 2, especially match 3, and you needed to have a contingency plan in the back in case your lead was bad, and then hopefully a flex pick that can maybe save you. And definitely the meta shifted because of the addition of the charm users like Togekiss, Clefable, Wigglytuff, and Gardevoir, which Wigglytuff and Gardevoir I didn't see that much of in this tournament, but I saw a lot of Togekiss, which definitely did work against my dark types on my team. So let's go ahead and take a look at the team that I used for this tournament. So for this tournament, I ran Golbat with Wing Attack, Poison Fang, Shadow Ball, Alolan Muck with Poison Jab, Acid Spray, Dark Pulse, Drapion with Bite, Crunch, Aqua Tail, Toxicroak with Counter, Sludge Bomb, Mud Bomb, Azumarill with Bubble, Play Rough, Ice Beam, and Venusaur with Vine Whip, Frenzy Plant, and Sludge Bomb. In round 1, I went up against rival Commotion, who had Skuntank, Toxicroak, Venomoth, Golbat, Venusaur, and Azumarill. And I didn't like that double flying matchup, so I decided to go with a team that I thought had pretty good coverage. I went with Golbat, Drapion, and Venusaur. Let's go ahead and get into the first battle here. So I led off with my Golbat, and she leads off with her Purified Golbat, which I saw quite a bit of in this tournament. So I'm going to go ahead and try to build up to a Shadow Ball and then bait her with the Poison Fang, but she gets off her Poison Fang first. Didn't shield because I knew it was a Poison Fang. So it didn't shield, build to a Shadow Ball, but I should have gone with the Shadow Ball here because she didn't shield. So I go out, get out the Poison Fang, thought I could bait her, didn't work that well, so I'll go ahead and get the Shadow Ball, but then she hits me with a Shadow Ball as well. So I'm going to go ahead and shield that. Tried to switch to Drapion there just to finish it off, but I'm going to go ahead, get out that Shadow Ball, and I take that first shield. So I'm going to go ahead, see if I can take it down or get her to switch out, and it took her down. So let's go ahead. She brings in her Toxicroak. That's why I switched out my Golbat. So I get off the Aqua Tail here. She doesn't shield it, so Toxicroak's already pretty low on health here. And then I thought, you know what, I'm not going to shield it. I'm just going to go ahead and let my Drapion go down because it did its job. Hits me with a Sludge Bomb instead. I thought I could get up to another Aqua Tail there, but it's alright. Toxicroak's already low on health, so I'm going to go ahead and bring back in my Golbat just to finish it off and get some extra energy. And then her last Pokemon is Azumarill. Perfect for my Venusaur. So I'm going to go ahead, get off that Poison Fang, hopefully get rid of her last shield, and it works. I'm going to go ahead and switch it out, and bring in my Venusaur for the kill. I'm going to go ahead and shield that Ice Beam there. Get up to a Frenzy Plant, and that is GG's for match 1 of round 1. I can speak English. So for match 2, I had the exact same team, just decided to see what she would do if I had the same team and see if she would bring any more coverage or change up her team a little bit. So I had Golbat in the front and then Drapion and Venusaur in the back. Let's go ahead and get into match 2. Lead off with Golbat. She leads off with her Golbat again. So we're thinking the exact same way here. So I'm going to go ahead and get up to the Shadow Ball. But I see that she's also building up energy, so I knew she was going to get off her Shadow Ball as well. We pretty much had the same mindset right here. So I'm going to go ahead, get off that Shadow Ball. Get the Excellent. She shields it as well, so that's her first shield gone. Going to go ahead and get up to a Poison Fang, but she does the exact same thing there too. So it was just pretty funny at that point. So gonna let her get off the Poison Fang. I'm gonna get off my Poison Fang as well. And then switch out to Drapion just to see what she would do this time. And then she switches out right before it faints to Azumarill. So I was like, okay, not a good matchup for me, so I'm gonna go ahead, just let this go through no matter what it is. And then it was an Ice Beam, which didn't faint my Drapion. So I'm going to go ahead, get off my Aqua Tail. Wouldn't do super effective damage at all, but she shields it, probably thinking that it was a Sludge Bomb. So I'm going to go ahead, get off another Aqua Tail, try to do as much damage as I can before my Drapion faints. She farms me for energy. And I go ahead and bring in my Venusaur, just to see if I can get it down. I got to shield that Ice Beam. So I'm going to go ahead, get up the energy. I didn't think she could switch right here, but watch what happens. She switched out to her sacrificial swap Golbat, which was still in the game. That was really, really smart, and it threw me off entirely. And she brings in Venomoth, which threw me off entirely. I was like, dang it. So I wish I could have built up to a Shadow Ball right there. So I might have won if I built up the Shadow Ball there, but gonna go ahead. She gets off her Silver Wind, which pretty much just almost one-hit KOs my Venusaur. Gonna build up to a Frenzy Plant, and it's not gonna do super effective damage. So that is GG's for match 2. She brought double flying that time, so threw me off, but really good strategy. Really good strategy. Match 3, I decided to switch it up just a little bit. I changed out Venusaur for Alolan Muck and kept Golbat and Drapion waiting in the back. Let's go ahead and get started with match 3. Lead off with Alolan Muck, and she has her Azumarill. Perfect lead matchup. Gonna go ahead and try and farm it for some energy. Maybe get off an Acid Spray. Go ahead, build up to that. Get off the Excellent on there. And then she shields it. That's her first shield gone. Switches out to her Golbat, so I'm gonna go ahead and get off another Acid Spray just so Drapion can take it down faster. Switch out to Drapion so we can tank whatever charge move she's gonna use. She uses her Poison Fang. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it down. Look at how fast it's going down. Acid Spray comes in so clutch, man, I swear. I'm gonna go ahead and shield it because I thought that she still had Venomoth waiting in the back. So I thought I could try and feint it down, but she brings back in her Azumarill, which means that she does have her Venomoth in the back. So I let the Ice Beam go through, get off a Crunch. And then she shields that, so that's both shields gone. Tried to switch there, switch timer wasn't ready yet, so I go ahead and bring back in Alolan Muck. And I decided not to shield here just in case she had her Venomoth waiting in the back. So I'm going to go ahead, farm her for some energy. And it is Venomoth, so I decided, should I hit it with a Dark Pulse or an Acid Spray? Acid Spray just so I can get it down faster with Venomoth's wing attacks. Look at how fast it's going down. That's crazy. I get off the Poison Fang just to see if I can finish it off quickly. And then she gets off one charge move, so that's the reason that I saved that last shield. Gets off Silver Wind, and that is GG's for match 3 of round 1. Next, let's go ahead and get into round 2 against challenger KiengIV. This round was absolutely insane, and his team was Azumarill, Venomoth, Qwilfish, Umbreon, Toxicroak, and Alolan Muck. So I decided, just maybe go with a generic team of Azumarill, Golbat, and Toxicroak, see how it does. Let's go ahead and get into match 1 of round 2. Lead off with Azumarill, he leads off with his Toxicroak, so I'm going to go ahead. Got to make sure that I watch out for the baiting here, but he switches out into his Venomoth. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Golbat, do some good damage here, get to the Poison Fang, but he gets CMP. So I'm going to go ahead and shield that, because I figured if he brought back in his Toxicroak, I could probably do some chip damage. Going to go ahead and do a Poison Fang here. Get some more super effective damage from Wing Attack there. He gets off one last charge attack. It's going to be another Poison Fang, so I figured just don't shield it, see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and get out Poison Fang on whatever he brings in. And he brings in his Umbreon. I said not to go with Shadow Ball because, it wouldn't have done any super effective damage, so I decided to go with Poison Fang for that neutral damage. And Umbreon is just a tank, so I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Toxicroak so I can build some energy. And he switches back into his Toxicroak. So I'm going to go ahead, get off a Play Rough, and he's already got a decent amount of energy buildup, so I got to watch out for the baits from Mud Bomb. I'm going to go ahead, I'm like, you know what, this probably is going to be a bait, so I decided not to shield, and I got lucky. It was a Mud Bomb. I'm going to go ahead and build it to an Ice Beam, probably trying to build it to a Sludge Bomb there. Get off the Ice Beam, shields that, so that's both shields gone. Decided not to shield here again, because I could probably get him with my Mud Bomb, but he gets me with another Mud Bomb, so I'm going to go ahead and see if I can build up to another Ice Beam or something here, but then he goes ahead and feints down my Azumarill. and he gets CMP, so I'm going to go ahead and shield that Mud Bomb, save my Toxicroak for that Umbreon waiting in the back. Get off that Mud Bomb. Brings back in his Umbreon, but it has Last Resort ready, so I was like, crap, maybe it could possibly beat me here, but counter just does so much damage. So much damage. So I'm going to build up to that Mud Bomb, and then that is GG's for match 1 of round 2. So close. So insane. So in match 2, I start off with Golbat and have Drapion and Venusaur waiting in the back. Let's go ahead and start with match 2. Lead off with Golbat, and he leads with Venomoth, which is a pretty okay matchup for Golbat. So I'm going to go ahead. I thought he was going to switch here, but he didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and build up some more energy. He gets CMP, so I thought it was a Silver Wind, which still would do a lot of damage despite not being very effective to Golbat. Gets off the Poison Fang bait. So I'm going to go ahead, get off that excellent Poison Fang, switch out to Drapion and see if I can finish it off. But he switches it out right before it faints. So I'm going to go ahead, get off a crunch here because none of these moves are going to be super effective against Azumarill. And I wanted to go with Sludge Bomb in the beginning with Drapion, but people recommended going with the quicker moves on Drapion. So I'm going to go ahead and let this Ice Beam or Play Rough go through. It's an Ice Beam. Drapion's near fainting, so I'm going to go ahead and get off that Aqua Tail to do some extra damage before it faints. And my Drapion faints. I bring in my Venusaur to see if I can finish it off, but it has energy built up, so I'm going to go ahead and shield that Ice Beam. Then he switches out right here to Venomoth, but it was already 1 HP, so didn't do much, but I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get off the Frenzy Plant here, but he got off another Ice Beam before I could. So I'm like, crap, both my Pokemon are in red health. I don't know what I can do here. He has one more shield and a full health Pokemon. Pretty sure I can't win here. So I'm going to go ahead. He switches to his Alolan Muck. Thought I could try and at least bait the shield. Doesn't work, so I switch out to Venomoth. Probably should have got out the Shadow Ball there because he didn't shield here, so if I got out Shadow Ball, it might have done a pretty good amount of damage. Get out the Poison Fang again. And then he already has energy built up, so he shields that. My my Golbat goes down. And that is GG's for match 2 of round 2. Very well played. Very, very well played. In the final match, I led with Alolan Muck and had Golbat and Toxicroak waiting in the back. Let's go ahead and get started with match 3. I lead off with my Muck, and he leads off with his Toxicroak. Not a good matchup for Muck, so I'm going to go ahead and get off an Acid Spray and hopefully switch out to Golbat as soon as I can. Builds up to a Mud Bomb. I'm going to go ahead and shield that. And then I was hoping with that one Acid Spray I'd be able to take out Toxicroak or at least do a good amount of chip damage. So I'm going to go ahead and get off that Acid Spray. Switch out to Golbat. And then it started doing a good amount of damage there, but he switches out to his Azumarill, which I wish if I had 2 shields, I would have done a lot more damage here, but Poison Fang does super effective damage by itself, but it's not detrimental to Azumarill. So I was going to go for another Poison Fang there, but I decided to shield here just in case he brought back out his Toxicroak. Gonna go ahead and get off another Poison Fang, but he still has both shields, so that's not good for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and build to another Poison Fang here. Hopefully get rid of that one shield. And then it works, so I'm gonna go ahead and all I can do here is just let Golbat faint. Gets off that Ice Beam. I'm going to switch back into my Muck to hopefully finish off the Azumarill. And then watch this. Right before it faints, switches out right to his Toxicroak. I was like, crap, I don't know if I can win now because Acid Spray would have helped me win a lot more here. But go ahead and faint down his Toxicroak just barely. Just barely. And I was like, if he has a Charge Move build up on his Azumarill, then that's going to be GG's for me. Brings out his Azumarill and it faints, so he brings out a Alolan Muck, and that means GG's. GG's. Very well played, King. It was awesome to play you. Such an honor. Such an honor. So I'm going to go ahead, get out that Mud Bomb, get an excellent on there. It's nearly fainted, but he gets off a foul play here, so I was kind of nervous. I was like, could it do enough damage? but since it's not super effective, GG's. Such an honor, King. Thank you so much for the battles. Coming into round 3, I was up against Challenger Arcanix, who had Venusaur, Alolan Raticate, Venomoth, Tentacruel, Toxicroak, and Azumarill. So I just decided to go with the basic team of Golbat in the lead and then Toxicroak and Azumarill in the back. Let's go ahead and get started with match 1 of round 3. Led off with Golbat, it leads off with his Venomoth. Not a bad lead matchup, so I'm going to go ahead, see if I can build up to the Poison Fang and Shadow Ball to see if I can bait him. I'm going to go ahead and get off that Poison Fang. And then he falls for the bait, so that's his first shield gone. Build up to another Poison Fang. And I figured I could try and switch out here to my Azumarill just so I could save a Golbat as a sacrificial swap, but it didn't work. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring in my Azumarill here just to protect my Toxicroak. And then he gets off, I thought it was a Poison Fang, but actually it was a Psychic here, so I decided not to shield. And I didn't know it was Psychic, so I was like, wow, I was pretty impressed by the damage that did. So he brings in his Tentacruel. So I go ahead and get off an Ice Beam, do some damage before I switch out my Azumarill. And then I switch out. So he already has a good amount of energy built up, and he brings in his Toxicroak. So I have a good amount of energy built up as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get off that first Mud Bomb. And he shielded, that's his last shield gone, and I still have both shields. So I figured I could possibly win this. So I'm going to go ahead, shield that, get off Mud Bomb, build up some more energy before I do. Get off that Mud Bomb. And I get off another. And remember, he still has quite a bit of energy built up. So he's going to go ahead. I decided like maybe I could try and do it here, so I decided to shield my Toxicroak. And then he double acid sprays me. So just nothing I can do right here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and let that go through. But then my Azumarill takes it down with bubbles, and that is GG's for match 1 of round 3. Coming into match 2, I had Golbat in the lead, and then Venusaur and Toxicroak waiting in the back. Let's go ahead and get started. Lead off with Golbat, he leads off with his Toxicroak. Great early lead matchup. So I expected him to switch right here, which he does, and he brings in Venomoth, and I couldn't switch here because either of those, both Venusaur and Toxicroak are weak to Venomoth's confusion. So I tried to go ahead and bait his shield here. Didn't work, should have gone for the Shadow Ball. Then my Golbat would have been able to just take it out in one hit there. I shield that because I wanted to see if he would bring back in his Toxicroak. Get off that Poison Fang. He doesn't shield it there, but my Golbat goes down, and I'm down the shield as well. So either of these Pokemon can finish these off, can finish Venomoth off in one fast attack. So I bring in my Venusaur, and then he takes a while to decide what he brings back out, and he brings back out his Toxicroak. So I gotta watch out for that Mud Bomb and that Sludge Bomb. But that means that he has Tentacruel in the back. So he builds up a good number of energy here, and I should have shielded here just so I can get off that Frenzy Plant and get rid of that last shield. But I was so close there, but should have undertapped. Oh well. So he's got, like I said, good number of energy built up. So he's going to get off multiple Mud Bombs against me. Build up to that Mud Bomb. Doesn't happen. So that's going to be GG's. Get off that one last charge move. Doesn't shield it, and it is Tentacruel. If I'd shielded that one, that one Mud Bomb, I might have been able to take that match. But GG's, very well played. Coming into the final match, I had Alolan Muck in the lead, and then Golbat and Venusaur waiting in the back. Let's go ahead and get started. Lead off with Alolan Muck, and he leads off with his Venomoth. Not a bad lead matchup, so I'm gonna go ahead and get up to an Acid Spray. Go ahead and weaken it. But then he switches out to his Tentacruel. So I'm gonna go ahead and get off an Acid Spray, then switch out to my Venusaur. There we go. Doing pretty well so far. So I expected an Acid Spray here, so I didn't shield. See if I can build up to some extra energy here. Get off that Frenzy Plant. And he shields it. So I kind of expected, you know, a pretty powerful charge move here, either Hydro Pump or Sludge Wave, and it was an Acid Spray, so I fell for the bait. Got rid of that shield, so now it's one shield down for each of us. And then my switch timer is ready again, so I'm going to go ahead and switch out and hopefully keep my Venusaur as a sacrificial swap if need be. So I'm going to go ahead and get off an Acid Spray against his Toxicroak. And then he gets me with a Mud Bomb. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Golbat to hopefully farm him up for some energy. And then I have pretty good odds here because his Venomoth, I have energy built up. I'm going to go for the Shadow Ball. Doesn't shield it. One hit, he thought I was baiting him, but it didn't work. So then go ahead and shield that charge move. Mud Bomb, and that is GG's for round 3.